Saudi Arabia has been officially selected to host the 2034 FIFA World Cup, a decision that has sparked significant backlash and raised concerns across various global communities. The announcement came from the FIFA Congress in Zurich, which also confirmed that the 2030 edition of the tournament will be jointly hosted by Spain, Portugal, and Morocco, with additional matches taking place in Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay. While the 2030 tournament will be a multi-country event spanning different continents, Saudi Arabia was the only serious contender for the 2034 edition, aiming to host all 104 matches across 15 stadiums within its territory. The relatively swift and uncontested selection process has led to a wave of criticism directed at FIFA, with many questioning the transparency and fairness of the bidding process. Critics argue that FIFA's decision to award the tournament to Saudi Arabia reflects poorly on the organization's governance and integrity. One of the major points of contention is Saudi Arabia's record on human rights, which includes long-standing issues such as restrictions on freedom of expression, lack of gender equality, and the criminalization of LGBTQ+ identities. A closer look at the controversy reveals three primary areas of concern. First is the unusually quick and incompetitive nature of the bidding and awarding process, which many believe lacked proper scrutiny and transparency. Second is the issue of labor and migrant worker rights. Saudi Arabia, like Qatar during the lead-up to the 2022 World Cup, has faced allegations of widespread abuses, including poor working conditions and exploitation of foreign laborers. Third, and perhaps most significant, is what many see as an ongoing attempt by Saudi authorities to engage in sports washing, a strategy aimed at using high-profile international sporting events to distract from or rehabilitate its global image tarnished by its human rights track record. In recent years, Saudi Arabia has aggressively expanded its involvement in the global sports arena as part of this image-building campaign. The kingdom has launched and heavily invested in projects like Live Golf, and its football league, the Saudi Pro League, has spent vast sums of money attracting world-renowned players such as Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, and Neymar. Reports suggest that between 2021 and 2023, Saudi Arabia invested over $6 billion into international sports ventures. The country has also hosted the Indian Premier League's 2025 mega auction in Riyadh and made significant inroads into motorsports through events like Formula One. Despite these investments, the announcement of Saudi Arabia as the 2034 host has not been universally accepted. Similar to the backlash that followed Qatar's hosting of the 2022 World Cup, Saudi Arabia now faces criticism from various national football associations and human rights organizations. Norway, for instance, has openly questioned FIFA's decision-making. Lise Klaveness, the president of the Norwegian Football Federation, expressed disappointment with the process, stating that it did not reflect the principles of responsible and predictable governance. Moreover, concerns about gender inequality in the country have been underscored by the World Economic Forum's 2023 Global Gender Gap Report, which ranked Saudi Arabia 131st out of 147 countries. The report highlighted significant disparities between men and women, particularly in access to education and workplace rights. Additionally, Saudi Arabia continues to uphold laws that criminalize homosexuality, with no recognition of LGBTQ+ rights. This stance adds another layer of concern about the inclusivity and ethical implications of holding a global sporting event in the kingdom. Taken together, the lack of transparency in the bidding process, ongoing human rights concerns, gender inequality, and anti-LGBTQ+ laws contribute to a broader debate over whether Saudi Arabia is an appropriate and responsible choice to host the 2034 FIFA World Cup.